Chapter 69. As days turned into weeks, a month swiftly passed. The earth, for the time being, was bathed in a tranquil peace, devoid of any new threats. Goten and Krillin, committed to their training, remained at Mount Paozu. Their rigorous regimen often left them with little time for meals, prompting Chi-Chi to deliver home-cooked food, or Videl to bring takeout. Initially, Krillin struggled to find inner peace. His mind was a whirlwind of thoughts, and Goten's formidable strength exerted immense pressure on him. The thought of being unable to assist in future battles due to his lack of power was a burden that disrupted his tranquility. However, over time, this pressure gradually diminished and Krillin found his peace. Krillin's mindset was a balance between Goku's carefree innocence and Vegeta's relentless ambition. He was neither completely indifferent like Goku, nor constantly on edge like Vegeta. Yet achieving Ultra Instinct in such a state was no easy feat. A month had passed, and while Krillin could control his emotions and quickly find calm, he was unable to grasp the essence of Ultra Instinct. This led him to question his ability to master this technique. During their training, they would often sit cross-legged on adjacent mountaintops, their expressions serene, as if they were one with nature. It was during one of these moments that Goten's expression subtly changed. His previously calm face now showed a slight furrow in his brows. Crackle! A purple aura began to rise around him, accompanied by tiny electric arcs. A powerful god ki burst forth from Goten's body. Krillin, unable to perceive this type of ki, was alerted by the crackling sounds of electricity. He opened his eyes to see the purple aura flames dancing around Goten's body. He realized that Goten's power had evolved once again after a month of rigorous training. Cackling. As the purple aura flames around Goten intensified, his face grew increasingly strained. He gritted his teeth, a low growl escaping his throat. Ha! With a roar, his eyes snapped open, shooting out a beam of purple light. Swish! His hair instantly turned purple, his eyebrows vanished, and his brow bone protruded. In this form, he bore a striking resemblance to Goku's Super Saiyan Third, albeit with shorter hair and more intimidating eyes. He looked like some villain. Is this the Ultra Ego that Goten mentioned earlier? Krillin looked at Goten in disbelief. This kid, he mastered it in just a month. Indeed, there was no comparison. Goten had mastered the Ultra Ego in a month, without any guidance. Despite Goten's careful instruction, Krillin was still struggling to even comprehend Ultra Instinct. Just as Krillin was marveling at Goten's achievement, Goten's face contorted in discomfort. He seemed to be gritting his teeth, maintaining this form through sheer willpower, but the moment his face relaxed, he immediately reverted to his normal state. Phoo. Exhaling a long breath, Goten appeared to be relieved. It seemed mastering the Ultra Ego state would take some time. However, having understood the basics of Ultra Ego in just a month was an impressive feat. Whoosh! Krillin quickly flew over to Goten, his face filled with admiration. "Goten, you're truly extraordinary," he exclaimed. "To think you'd comprehend such a powerful transformation in just a month without anyone's guidance." "Actually, I haven't fully mastered Ultra Ego yet. I've just touched the surface. It'll take some time to perfect this form," Goten replied modestly. In truth, once one grasped the basics of Ultra Ego, mastering it was only a matter of time. For Goten, Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego were different. Ultra Instinct Sign was a reward from the system's novice gift package, and he hadn't mastered it himself, making it difficult to perfect. On the other hand, he had comprehended Ultra Ego based on the destruction ability, and all the information about the technique was imprinted in his mind. "You don't need to be so humble," Krillin said with a smile. "In this world, you're probably the only one with such talent." Indeed, in his eyes, Goten was more humble than most. He never allowed his strength to make him arrogant or defiant. This trait was strikingly similar to Goku's. Hey! Goten could only respond with an awkward smile. He was well aware that his extraordinary power was mainly due to the system within him. Without it, he would be lucky to break through to Super Saiyan 2 with his current abilities. His other abilities would be even more impossible to achieve. He had nothing to be proud of in himself. His only desire was to better protect himself and those he cared about. "By the way, Goten," Krillin asked curiously, "the ultra ego you just comprehended, is it also a divine ability? Because I couldn't sense any Kai from your body just now." Goten had previously told him that mortals could not perceive the ki of a god. This was something he had understood from the previous battle between Beerus and Goten. It is indeed a divine ability, more precisely. It's the ability of the Hakaishin, Goten confirmed without hesitation. In this world, Krillin was arguably his only friend. So for Krillin, there was no need to hide too many things, as long as he didn't reveal his biggest secret. Hakaishin's ability? Krillin shook his head and smiled wryly. "Good Lord. You, kid. I really don't know how to describe you. Let's test my current control over the power of destruction," Goten suggested lightly. In fact, controlling the power of destruction was not so easy. The simplest form was to use energy to destroy anything one wished to destroy. Just like when Beerus destroyed the 10th Universe Apprentice Supreme Kaiser Masu, erasing him in an instant. The moment his voice fell, Goten held out his hand in the air. A small stone the size of a pebble appeared on the tip of his index finger out of thin air. Then he focused his gaze sharply. "Hakai," he murmured, and the stone exploded in an instant. The power generated by the explosion was outrageous. A huge, deep pit with a diameter of 1,000 feet was instantly blasted out on the ground, causing the whole earth to tremble violently. The powerful shockwave instantly sent Krillin flying, and all the surrounding mountains were also destroyed. Krillin's body was sent flying several hundred feet away before barely stopping. At this moment, an unparalleled look of horror appeared on his face. "God! This is way too abnormal. The power generated by the explosion of a stone can actually cause such destructive power. Is this the so-called power of destruction?" Krillin looked in disbelief at the giant sinkhole that appeared in front of him, and Goten looked at the surrounding environment and was quite satisfied with the effect. He hadn't deliberately wanted to destroy this place just now. Otherwise, the power of the explosion just now would have been infinitely greater than this. Even destroying a dozen planets would be a breeze. However, just after the ground returned to calm, the sound of a helicopter came. Videl soon appeared in front of Goten and Krillin. Looking calmly at the terrifying destruction around her, she seemed to have gotten used to it a long time ago. After getting off the helicopter with a large bag of lunchboxes, Videl said angrily, "If you two continue to train like this, it is estimated that the enemy will not destroy the Earth. You two will destroy the Earth first." Indeed, the valley had been messed up by the two of them, and the destruction caused this time was even more terrifying. If it continued to spread around, maybe Goten's home would be destroyed. "Yo, Videl, what kind of food is it today?" Seeing Videl put the lunchbox on the ground, Krillin said with a smile, "Looks like I made the right decision to train with Goten. Every day I can taste food that I have never eaten before." "Don't touch that sweet shrimp sushi. That's Goten's favorite," Videl warned Krillin. After getting along for this period of time, their relationship had become very good, so they could joke around with each other. All right. Krillin sighed, nodded his head. He could only sigh in his heart and lament his misery. Having a girlfriend certainly changed things. "Goten, hurry up, or Krillin will eat everything," Videl teased, pulling Goten closer. "Videl, you don't need to bring us food every day. It's too much trouble for you," Goten said. Over the past few months, Goten had come to realize Videl's feelings for him. She visited Mount Paozu daily, bringing food or other necessities. This left Goten feeling conflicted. Who wouldn't be attracted to Videl? She was beautiful, kind, and despite her wealth and status, she pursued him relentlessly. To say he wasn't interested would be a lie. However, Goten felt that improving his strength was paramount. He needed to protect the people he cared about, and having a family would only increase his responsibilities. I can go wherever I want, and if I want to bring you food, that's my business. Don't even think about driving me away, or I'll tell Chichi-san, Videl retorted, her chin raised defiantly. Videl felt a pang of disappointment. She had made her feelings for Goten clear, and anyone but a fool would understand her intentions. Yet Goten had rejected her time and again. But she was resolute. In her eyes there was no one better than Goten on Earth, or even in the universe. All right, you can do whatever you want, Goten conceded, not wanting to upset his mother. Also, you promised to teach me how to fly. You seem free this month, so let's start tomorrow, Videl suggested, her smile returning. All right, let's finish eating first, then we can start, Goten agreed. He had indeed promised to teach Videl how to fly, and he was a man of his word. Really? Videl asked, excitement lighting up her eyes. Yeah, that's great. Hurry up, Videl urged, her excitement palpable. After lunch, Goten decided to start with teaching Videl ki perception and the flying technique. It would also give him a chance to relax. If you want to learn the flying technique, you must first learn to perceive the ki in your body and control it. Any attack or flight is supported by the ki in the body, Goten explained, sitting cross-legged on the ground. Videl sat opposite Goten, her eyes closed following his instructions. Time seemed to fly as they trained, and before they knew it, 2 hours had passed. Videl had begun to feel the ki in her body, but controlling it would take time and practice. Just as Goten was preparing to continue his training, he felt a familiar presence. A hidden ki of divine essence had appeared. This ki, is it Whis? Goten wondered, recognizing the ki as belonging to Whis alone.